Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Many critics and fans claim that this is the best Star Wars movie. But is it really? Theme music.
Two sides of the same coin.
That podcast is weird.
Hello and welcome to Two Sides of the Same Coin. I am your host, Noah, and this is the podcast where two nerds talk about media. And today's guest nerd, he is a good friend of mine, airsoft buddy, if you will. He has a pretty good airsoft YouTube channel, FrankDad Airsoft.
Hey guys, what's up?
So Frank, we're talking about Empire Strikes Back today. So maybe say how you feel about this movie generally, or like how big of a Star Wars fan are you?
Oh, I mean, I've been watching Star Wars media for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
That I love Star Wars, not as much as many other people, but I bought Disney Plus just for Star Wars.
Yeah, me too. It was just like I won't watch The Mandalorian. It was like do I really want to spend however much money just to watch Mandalorian? And granted, I love Disney, and I'm like, well, I don't have to, like, it's all the Disney stuff I want to watch is right there on Disney Plus. Disney Plus, if you hear this, you can sponsor me and I'll plug you all you want. That would be a sponsor.
I will say though, since I know that the previous podcast was New Hope,
Yeah.
the next one's going to be Return of the Jedi, and this one is Empire.
Yeah.
I would say the most authentic way to watch Empire and the original trilogy as a whole is the VHS original trilogy pack. Like that's the theater edit. That's the theater edit of the original trilogy, not the special edition, not the Jabba the Hutt stuff. Han shoots first. Black R2D2.
Oh.
We'll get into that.
You should have been here. You should have been here for the discussion about Han shoots first in the last episode. It was funny.
Well, I'm not. I'm here for
No.
I'm here for the best chapter in Star Wars.
I should have done that. I think I have like New Hope on VHS or not. Well, that was back when it was Star Wars on VHS, but I don't think I ever saw Empire Strikes Back on VHS. I think I've only seen like the new editions. At some point I need to go back and probably watch the unedited editions. That might be actually better cuz I mean Frank, you can would you say this is your favorite Star Wars film?
Yeah, that I would say Empire is probably the best Star Wars film that was released. Media, I don't know. That some of the new shows coming out are really good, but out of the 9 episodic movies, episode 5 is probably the best.
See, I kind of disagree, and we can like go into it as we're breaking down the movie. It's just I don't know, there's like plot holes when it comes to this movie, especially like the way it's set up. And I don't think it necessarily like has a consistent flow from like New Hope to Empire. I mean, the flow from Empire to Return of the Jedi, that's not that bad. I mean, I can get behind that because it easily connects. But because apparently, what Empire takes place 3 years after the events in New Hope, which bothers me a little bit.
I mean, yeah, that you don't see all the cool stuff that happened between New Hope and Empire.
Yeah.
But there's still a bunch of cool stuff in Empire though.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. It's just the way I think there could have been a better beginning. because I feel like we get introduced with so much stuff that you don't quite understand. Like, apparent I know, in, like, that, beginning, like, I forget what it's called, like, in the beginning where it has, like, would you call I wouldn't call them credits, I'd call them,
Middle crawls.
yeah. It says, like, Luke's leading that, like, faction, and it's not even the entire, rebellion, it's only, like, a small faction of it. And then you
Mhm.
see there's a general and there I'm like, "Well, is Luke really leading this or is the general?" And then it's I mean, we know that they're fleeing the Empire, that's why they're there.
Mhm.
But I don't know, it's just and also there was, like, the tension between Han and Leia right off the bat, which I
Mhm.
didn't really understand, and also it was like, "Oh, there's something wrong with the Falcon. Why is the Falcon, acting up?" There was just a
Well,
few things.
there there are a couple plot holes, but they can be kind of explained. Like Luke is more of like a wing commander
Yeah,
or something like that. Funny, that's funny. There was actually a video game. I forget what it was called. It might have been called Wing Commander, where Mark Hamill was leader of that. But I digress. That was like a command. He was the commander of Rogue Squadron, and then above him was all the general staff and what have you. That that can be explained that way.
yeah,
As for the hyperdrive issue, at won't one of the Imperial officers mention that there was a hyperdrive issue later in the movie, that it was
yeah.
sabotaged intentionally?
Yeah, but that was later, not necessarily, like, in the beginning of the movie. 'Cause remember, it had issues, like, right off the bat, and then it said they, like, sabotaged it even more when they were at Bespin or Cloud
Cloud
City,
City.
um, which I don't know. It
I
was just
mean
I don't know.
oh, sorry.
The thing is, also thinking about it as, like, a movie standpoint, personally,
Mhm.
I think you could probably cut out the first 15 minutes.
That's the best part. Or oh, you're talking about the Wampa attack and the,
Yeah, yeah, like, I'm one of the few people, because even the people who like this movie or at least I have a friend, who really likes this movie, and he thinks the Battle of Hoth should be cut out. I disagree with that
I
because
disagree too.
he's like, "Oh, there's no need to show how big the empire is. We know how big the empire is." And I'm like, "Now we do, but at the point when this movie came out, you didn't really know how big the empire was. So there was
Mhm.
that kind of need to show how big the empire actually is."
Mhm.
Um, I th I think there should have been a way to incorporate the first 15 minutes and the Battle of Hoth because I mean, I could care less. I mean, I was a little worried. I remember when I first watched this, it's like, "Oh no, Luke Skywalker got attacked. Is he gonna survive the Wampa? Is he going to attack? Is he going to survive the cold?"
I mean,
But
he almost died in a car crash.
yeah, I do remember that too.
And,
Do you think
reason
that's why they did the injured scene? Maybe
yes, because how would
that's
they
why.
explain
Yeah,
Luke having a scar
I
if he
completely
got attacked by a Wampa?
I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about that explanation. Okay, that I can get by. But at the same time, I feel like you could have done like an injured scene, like I don't know, like that crash where he crashes his speeder in the Battle of Hoth. I feel like you could have almost meshed those together.
If you take a look at how the scenes are all figured out and everything,
Yeah.
that there's like one or two shots of him with makeup over the scar,
Huh.
and then he gets swiped by the Wampa, and then he has the scar and the wounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you wait till like 15 minutes, 16 minutes into the movie while he has a crash helmet on,
Yeah.
With those scars, that's gonna make very little sense. Plus, also the makeup is gonna be a real
Yeah,
pain.
that's
Um,
true.
and also
I
speak.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
I see your point when it comes to that.
And also speaking of the first, I would say 10 to 12-ish minutes before they get rescued.
Yeah.
Uh, do you know the story behind all those shots with Luke wandering in the snow?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I know that, like, that was almost I don't know, like, Ben reaches out to him in those moments, but I don't really know anything besides that.
Well, that what happened was on set that they were in I think it was Norway or it was some
Okay.
Scandinavian country and they got snowed into their hotel
Oh,
and
boy.
they needed to send Mark Hamill out to get shots. So the cameraman was sitting cozy in the hotel's entrance while Mark Hamill was running around in the snow. So and
Yeah,
they needed those shots.
cause they I'm not gonna lie, those shots almost looked very genuine. Cause you could
Mhm.
tell, like, by the look of Mark Hamill's face how cold he actually was.
Yeah.
Like, it was red.
Mhm.
Um, so Frank, I'll ask you a question. Since
Mhm.
I think you know a lot more about the background of this movie than I do. Do you know if, like, when you see people riding on tauntauns, was that claymation or like stillmation? Because that doesn't seem like real. It almost looks like claymation or still shot.
I can't quite remember that.
I
No,
mean, if you look at it closely enough, it kind of looks like claymation, but I could never figure it out.
I mean, I would have to go back and watch it. I know
Okay.
definitely the newer versions of that, it's probably CGI. The original,
Actually, so I watched like the newer version. I just watched it. Even that looks like claymation.
mhm.
So I don't know.
I'll definitely have to go back and rewatch that, but I'm not quite sure on that.
Cuz when it comes I can tell you this with CGI
Mhm.
for this movie in the newer editions, it mainly sticks to I wouldn't say really any of the creatures or like the people. I would say it's mainly the ships and the space. That's pretty much it. And Cloud
Well,
City, of course.
I mean, wait, you're talking about other movies other than the
No, I'm
original
just
trilogy, or
no, I'm just talking about Empire. Like there's not much like in the newer editions of this movie, there's
Mhm.
not much CGI except when in space.
Yeah, and I don't really recognize all the CGI that's in the space scenes. Like in the newer editions, it was all
Yeah.
filmed with practical effects,
I
and it
don't
was filmed well.
yeah, it was filmed really well. Yeah, I don't know if I don't even know if they even use CGI with some of like the newer editions in the original trilogy. I mean, I think they did, but if they did, it's like very minor. And I think what CGI they did use, they
Uh,
used to like brighten. Well, okay, so I would say they definitely use CGI for New Hope because of
yes,
Jabba.
and in the original, or no, in the scene of all the X-wings checking in,
Yeah,
that was
that's
that was originally practical effects, and then
yeah.
they changed it to CG in the special editions.
Okay.
But we're starting to get out of scope here.
Yeah, no. Well, it usually happens on this podcast. But
Mhm.
so I'm trying to think. So where to go next? So
So,
the Battle
Battle
of Hoth
Hoth.
happens. That's
Mhm.
that's I mean I always liked that scene because I thought it was cool and you see the battle and I mean it looks very hopeless and it is hopeless.
Mhm.
Um, one of my favorite scenes is just seeing the tow cable wrap around the AT-AT.
And that's
Even
that. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's always an awesome scene to watch.
Yeah. Even though you would think, I mean, I know they need their fighters to protect the transport, but you think they would like whip out one or two of their fighters to like go against the AT-ATs because there's no way the AT-ATs would stand a chance against like actual fighters. Because of course a speeder's not gonna really do anything to it.
Well, I mean, they're pretty up armored that I highly doubt that a X-wing would do that much damage.
I don't know, Frank. Like you got proton torpedoes and like a speeder firepower compared to a speeder firepower, like X-wings heavily more. I don't know.
Or perhaps that
Well, and
they
you also,
sorry.
I no, go ahead.
Or perhaps they only had a limited amount of fighters and they needed all of
That's
them to
true.
escort the transports. Plus, Rebellion had technically had air superiority. They had a shield around Echo Base. That's why they weren't
Yeah,
able to get orbit bombard from orbit or
yeah,
have TIE fighters come in.
yeah.
They there was literally no need to have air superiority fighters. They already had air superiority. So
That's true.
it makes sense that the snow speeders or they're technically air
Yeah,
speeders, but
yeah,
that they were in the battle
yeah,
being used.
yeah. Because they were trying to stall for time.
That's literally all it was. That they knew they
Yeah,
couldn't beat the Empire.
yeah.
Uh, Originally, George Lucas wrote the Rebellion, or actually no, that would have been Episode 6, but he wrote the Rebellion kind of like the Viet Cong, and the Empire
Okay,
is the U.S. military, so it kind of makes sense in that respect. Like they're just stalling for time. They're trying not to lose.
okay,
They don't have to
okay.
win.
Yeah, okay. I get that aspect. And then yeah, and then the Empire quickly. I mean, it's not quickly. It goes on for about what 5 minutes, I would say. And then the
Sure.
Empire like gets into the base. Um, and then Han tries to get Leia to her ship,
Mhm.
which I think we skipped over this. Does like do you think the tension that between Han and Leia in the beginning makes sense? Like I know there was tension in the first movie, but
Mhm.
then I feel like more like the first half of this movie, maybe even more than that, Han is insisting that Leia has feelings for him, and I'm just like, okay, I know she's like an attractive woman, but it's like, why are you pushing um so hard that she has feelings for you? And then I guess it becomes obvious that he actually also has feelings for her. I
Well,
don't know.
I mean,
I
it kind of makes sense in the way that in Episode 4, Luke and
yeah.
Leia kissed while right before going over the
Oh,
chasm,
that's true.
the Death
I
Star.
forgot about
So
that.
I guess that and this was before any of the other movies were written.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was the first one.
Mhm.
4, 5, and 6 were written, and
Yeah.
then George Lucas came up with the idea for 5, and I guess he was trying to get the angle eventually. Like, all right, Luke's gonna be a Jedi. He can't have any
Yeah.
attachments. He can't have a girlfriend. And possibly the notion
Yeah.
that Leia is his sister. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Um, and they want to get away from how can I put it politely? Um, Star Wars, yeah, Star Wars not becoming Alabama. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's that I mean, that's technically I think cousins, not sisters, but same idea.
no, that Luke, according to Episode 3, Luke and Leia
No,
were born this.
I'm talking about Alabama. Um,
All right.
no, I well, but
Anyway,
yeah, no, okay, I guess I can see it in that perspective, which I don't know. That also makes me wonder. Then again, so do you know like in I don't know if it's in Legends that like Luke Skywalker has like a wife who I
yeah,
don't even know much about her. Um, what? Mara
Yeah,
Jade.
Maya Jade.
Yeah, which apparently I don't know if this was a skit or not, but not George Lucas said he was not her creator, and that apparently he very dislikes um or really dislikes Mara Jade.
Yeah, but the thing is that before the Disney buyout, technically it was
Yeah,
expanded universe.
yeah,
Um, that there was very little creative control that George Lucas could impart on those
yeah, it's true.
creators, as long as it didn't interfere with the main
Yeah,
canon. There were back
yeah.
before Disney bought everything out. Star Wars canon was so confusing. It was like the Wild West. Like there was A canon, B canon, C canon, D canon.
I don't know.
It
I
was
mean, I do think there's a lot to it, but I think it was not as chaotic as it is now.
well, as it is now, it's a lot more simple. It's a lot more streamlined. That it's
Ah.
either it happened or it's legends. That's literally it.
So that's not actually true because I cannot give you complete exact examples, but Disney is releasing new content that is really conflicting with stuff that is canon.
They're
Um
they're eventually going they're eventually going to patch those plot holes. But I mean,
I don't know if they
you
are.
can contradict technically in the canon now. You can contradict legends all day because it never existed in
Yeah.
the first place.
Which upsets me a little bit cuz there's a lot of good Legends content.
There is.
It's- Oh, there is. I mean, I've been building a collection like the first Star Wars Legends book I read, I recommend this to you and everyone listening, is Star Wars The Old Republic Revan.
Mhm.
That is a wonderful novel. And I'm about to read soon the sequel to that, which is Annihilation. And it's like takes place in the Old Republic. It's loosely based off the Old Republic games. And then I mean, there's a book. What it's called, Darth Plagueis, and that's
Mhm.
all about him, which a lot of people say is the best Star Wars Legends book. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of good stuff when it comes to Star Wars Legends. There are a few things that like you could care less about, which is like there's an Obi-Wan Kenobi book series, which is like when he's training and becoming a Padawan and a Jedi underneath Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, some of them are good stories, some of them are just lackluster.
Yeah, fair enough. That I mean, I watch like a bunch of YouTubers like Eckhart's Ladder,
Yeah, okay.
Generation Tech, and a couple others that they're like they cover like everything.
Yeah. What about
And
Star Wars Theory? He's a big one.
yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah. I've been
Uh,
watching some of his stuff recently.
the Karazans or Cartizans or whatever
I'm not sure.
his name is. Um, yeah, that I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I agree with you that it's good content.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. And I think I mean I'll end this tangent unless you have something else to say. I think Disney should be using some of this content, or at least reusing it, or like spinning off of it. Cause I don't know, some of their stuff is just not very good. Cause I mean, I don't know how about you. Wasn't really a big fan of the Kenobi series. I wasn't a big fan of. I mean, Boba Fett was okay. Mando's good. Andor. That's yeah.
Indoor
There's
was
some.
slow.
I know, right? I was like, get on with it.
Get on with it.
And one of my biggest problems, which I know this is such a small thing, one of the like rebels that he works with literally uses like a stock AK-47.
Well,
Like it's like a metal AK-47.
I mean
And
that's
there's
sorry.
no modifications to it whatsoever. It's literally just stock.
I mean that's gonna make cosplaying a whole lot easier.
Yeah, but that also causes issues.
I mean, there's a certain point of suspension of disbelief. You
Yeah.
have to
Which
partake.
what bothers me about this is no, I haven't heard anyone pick up on the AK-47, but I've heard people complaining about the screws in that series. The screws. The
Oh my god.
screws. I I'm like, seriously? You can't see that that woman's using an AK-47, but you can notice what type of screws on the wall?
I mean, Star Wars fans pick and choose the stupidest stuff.
I
Speaking
I'm I don't like Star Wars fans. I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan and I will connect with people over Star Wars fans, but there's like the fandom as a whole has become extremely toxic and very not okay, yeah, not that bright.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you have to educate them on everything, and a lot of new
that's
fans
true.
came in after the Disney buyout, so
Yeah,
they didn't
and then
have all the different
yeah.
materials that other people had.
Yeah, and then you have the people screaming at like the hardcore fans saying, "This is for kids. Don't take it that seriously."
And then, I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to
Yeah.
point out that you have the politics behind everything
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
doing stuff, and that I'm going to leave it at that. But I do, while we're talking about Andor, real quick, I do have a funny
Yeah.
story. I don't know if I told you. Um, for the viewers that don't know what airsoft is, basically think of paintball but shooting 6 millimeter BBs,
Yeah.
plastic. And there's this one company called Novrich. They make high-end sniper rifles and they make some okay they make gear and stuff like that. And one of my sponsors, Jackal Tactical, Paul, the owner, that he was doing a viewing for Andor. The first was it the first 3 episodes of Andor that came out once?
I think it was the first two. It could
I
no,
think it was three
actually
because
no,
the
I
first two
think
were
you were right.
slow.
No, yeah. No, yeah, you were I think you're right. I think it was the first three.
That the first 3 episodes of Andor in a movie theater in an undisclosed location. Um,
Okay.
and one of the main presenters for Novrich, Yosef Muncha, I think his name is,
Okay.
and Dom, someone on their R&D team, they were down in Balhack in Virginia. Um, they were doing something down there, and then they came up to the shop, and they hung out, and Paul invited them out. And I'm sitting in the
Oh,
theater, kind of chatting with one of my buddies, and then all of a sudden I see two guys with Naruto hoodies walk in. I'm like, "Who the hell are these guys?" And
that is cool.
Paul's like, "Hey, I don't want to hear any of you complain on how far you drove to get here today. These two guys came from Vienna, Austria." I'm like, "That is Robert Joseph, the Joseph." The other guy was, and the guy I was sitting next to, who was the tech or who is the tech at Jackal. It's like, yeah,
Okay.
he was hanging out. They were hanging out late all day. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
um, right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to Empire. Trying to think.
So we
So,
oh, speaking of Empire, we're at the
yeah.
part where like they're trying to get out with the Falcon, but I
Yeah.
do want to bring up one thing that happened before that.
Yeah.
As a deleted scene. Um,
Are you talking about the C3PO thing?
yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I kinda wish they kept it in. So there's like you see C3PO run down a hallway and apparently there's like a do not enter sign on this one door. He rips it off and then the Empire comes later, goes to that door and then Wampa pulls one of the stormtroopers in. I wish they kept
Hilarious.
that because that would have been so funny. And when I saw that scene, I'm like, that's hilarious.
No. Um, it just sucks that their thinking was, okay, if we include this scene, then we're going to have to include
Yeah.
the Wampa attack, which would drug
Yeah.
out the beginning. Which, I mean, come on,
They
suspension of disbelief, or have it
yeah.
as extra canon material.
I don't know. There's so much stuff that they've cut out of Star Wars that I'm just like upset about because it could have been more awesome than it actually is. Like a lot of stuff with the prequels. Like they just released some like stunt footage from Revenge of the Sith.
Mhm.
That opening battle between Anakin and Dooku was supposed to be way more intense. Like Dooku apparently like lost his eye, and Anakin did some like really cool sword moves. It was really sweet. I'm bummed that they didn't include it.
I mean, they probably did that for the essence of time because, and just like episode
Yeah.
5, episode 3 was a tragedy, not a hero story.
Yeah, but I have to say I like 3 a little bit more than this movie. Maybe it's because it's newer, or maybe it's I don't know. I think there's a lot more dynamics to this movie, or not this movie.
Episode
To
3.
Revenge of yeah, episode 3, and there's a little bit more I don't know, like tension, like the good tension, and like I don't know, it makes sense. Like you see all things like go into place. Like not necessarily in a good way, but you see the empire taking form, which I find very interesting. Like you see the collapse of the Jedi and the rise of the Sith, which is very very interesting. Now with Empire, I don't know. I just so when people I see it a little drawn out. Like not I wouldn't say a I mean, it's not as bad as like Rise of Skywalker that it's super drawn out and you see the main characters go to like 8 different locations. I have to say the story is pretty decent, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like you go so far just to see a trap for Luke, which I know the Empire has spies, but I find it weird that in this movie that they don't like cover how they found out Luke is the one who destroyed the Death Star. Granted, it has been like 3 years, so they could probably at this point easily found out.
I mean,
But
you can like easily deduce in the
yeah,
last scene of or not the last scene, the last like ship scene where they're flying away from the Death Star. There's
yeah,
Biggs Darklighter, Luke, a random Y
yeah,
wing, which I think was a cool touch. The Millennium Falcon, and then maybe one
yeah.
other ship. If I'm probably wrong. Like they're
I
only
think
like
in CGI in the newer version, I think there's like 5 uh X-wings left and like 1 or 2 more
Y wings.
Y-wings, which doesn't make sense to me at all because I'm just like, where were all these ships when Darth Vader and those TIE fighters were swooping in? Granted, they could have been tangled up with other TIE fighters, but
Mhm.
I digress.
Yeah, that. I mean, they knew he did it. Plus, also is
Yeah,
plastered everywhere that
yeah,
probably that Luke did it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's fair. And I know I've read some books that are no longer canon. I think it's technically a kid series, but it's like they have some interesting information
Mhm.
that I don't know if they're canon or not. It's called Star Wars Rebel Force, which has some interesting stuff, and it talks about like the transition from like Yavin to Hoth, and it's very interesting. But
Mhm.
no, I don't know. Do you think the whole I mean, the asteroid scene was interesting, but do you think the whole "this is no cave" like portion was really necessary?
I think it was a little forced. Um,
'Cause
yeah.
I don't really see the point of that.
It,
Like I understand going through the asteroid field,
mhm.
but I don't know. It was weird.
And also something else weird that you have a I'll say space worm for lack of a better term, and I don't know the exact terminology. You
Yeah.
have a space worm that is in the vacuum of space,
Yeah.
things living in it. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, you have the main characters coming out with just a respirator.
Ye
That I don't
yeah,
get.
I never got that either.
There's no atmosphere.
I mean, granted, you could say, like, the creature could develop its own oxygen within itself, or I not at or atmosphere. I don't know. It's weird. Then again, you could say it's like a more controlled environment,
hmm,
cause like depending like how it is in a like I don't know in a creature's stomach, like it's you could say it's semi livable, but I don't know. That was weird.
yeah, that was a weird part.
Yeah.
But
But I would say my favorite part of this movie, even though I don't really like the setting and the scenery, I do like our time on Dagobah. I mean, Yoda's the freaking best part of this entire film in my opinion. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. It's up there. It's I mean, we've talked about this off air, but I love Frank Oz.
I know that.
I'm I mean cause he does Yoda, he does Miss Piggy. I think he does a few other stuff, but I'm not sure.
Um,
It's just,
funny enough.
"Tell me you're pretty, Kermit."
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of which, and this is completely just off topic.
Yeah.
Let me do it for you. I see that all over Instagram. And I'm like, oh my god, please make it stop.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Um,
No,
but I was gonna
but,
say, oh yeah, I also liked him in Blues Brothers and Blues Brothers 2000.
okay.
Was
That's cool.
in Blues Brothers, he was the property guy in the beginning of the movie, like giving John Belushi back his property, and then in the second movie, he was the warden of the prison. But I digress. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, that the puppetry that they did for Yoda was amazing, especially in that
Yeah.
time. That was just over the hill amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I have to say I laugh every time, like, with his scenes, especially, like, the intro scenes, like, "Looking for someone," you would say, "Hmm? Mine, mine!" Like, when he's fighting R2-D2 with a lamp, that's just smacking him with his
Yeah.
cane. It's just funny. And, the laugh too, it's just no, it's I don't know, I think I love that movie and or not that movie. I love that scene, and for a movie that's generally dark or has like a slightly darker tone compared to most of the other movies,
Mhm.
I would say it brings some comic relief, which I think is much needed.
And it also gives you the impression that he's small but mighty. And
Yeah,
also, like, you're not expecting him to be mentor.
yeah. Which fun fact, did you know that Yoda has a first name?
I did not know that. What's the first name?
So I apparently I forget so George Lucas wrote this on originally in the script, and I believe it is on Wikipedia.
Mhm.
Uh, which for those who are not big Star Wars fans, that's Wikipedia but for Star Wars. And actually found this out watching a video on Instagram of I don't know what the name of this podcast is called, but they're Star Wars fans, and they looked it up, and Yoda's first name is Minch. Minch Yoda, which they some of those like I don't know, this might have ruined like Yoda for me because it's just like, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean that's a little weird, but
Yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, I don't know if it's really canon because I mean, sure it was written in the script, but no one calls him Minch. I don't know. That's I don't know. And that's like a weird name too.
imagine he goes, hmm. Mitch, my government name is. Street name,
Oh boy.
Yoda. Street name is.
Yeah, that's that's weird. I don't know. But yeah, I like most of the scenes with Yoda. And a lot of those are like he has a lot of good lines, even though some of them are confusing because he talks backwards. But one thing that's really confusing for me on Dagobah, and I don't know if you understand this more, is like the purpose of the cave. Like,
Oh,
and
okay.
I kind of understand it. This is how I see it.
Mhm,
I think it's a way of showing Luke like the darkness that's within himself. But I still think it's weird and it's kind of a little bit out of the blue
mhm. I mean,
because
it's a trial though.
y- yeah, I know it's a trial and I understand that now like as a Star Wars fan like absorbing so much Star Wars content,
Mhm,
but I feel like I don't think it's just a scene. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that happens in this movie
mhm.
that you don't understand until you get like more involved in the Star Wars content as a whole.
That raises the rewatch value.
That is true. And maybe that's why people say it's their favorite, but I've rewatched this movie and I don't know. Yeah, I would say other movies are still higher than this one. I mean, I think it overall has a good story. It has amazing characters. Like this is where we meet Boba Fett, and I mean, in the 80s when this originally came out, people loved Boba Fett even though he had like what, 5 lines and he was just mainly in the background most of the time.
Well, I mean, also people love Clint Eastwood from the Dollars trilogy.
Yeah.
Same
That
mentality as Boba Fett.
yeah. I yeah, I actually started watching that trilogy. If you have not seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly trilogy, go watch it. It is really good.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's really I mean, here's the thing. I know that's who Boba Fett was based off of, but I think The Mandalorian fits Clint Eastwood better than Boba Fett does.
I mean,
Then again, I don't know how Boba Fett was originally written. I don't know if he was like originally written to be like Clint Eastwood, like not completely good, not completely bad. But if you watch The Mandalorian, I feel like a lot of aspects of The Mandalorian match those of Clint Eastwood, especially I've watched a Fistful of Dollars and I'm halfway through A Few Dollars More,
mhm.
and every time I see Clint Eastwood, I can't help but think of The Mandalorian.
When I think of Clint Eastwood, um, I just think The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Gran Torino.
Okay.
um,
I
we s-
I mean, I haven't seen many of his movies, but so far, A Fistful of Dollars is my favorite
oh,
because his just how good his acting is, especially when he doesn't have to say a thing, like if thing, but every time he's on screen, I pay attention because it's just something about how he presents himself
mhm.
that just makes it very, very grabbing.
I'm just looking something up
Yeah,
real
it's
quick. What's that one movie where he was Heartbreak Ridge? That's what it was. Yeah,
okay.
that too. Movie from Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Um, but real quick to the cave scene. I
Yeah.
honestly think Robot Chicken summarized it best.
Oh
Have you
boy.
seen that?
I try to avoid the stuff on Robot Chicken because I do think some of it's funny, but I think some of it's very stupid.
Uh,
I will say a lot of the Emperor and Darth Vader stuff is funny.
mhm.
Like, what? There's one New Hope scene. It's like, sir, it's bring your kid to
Let's bring your kid to work
work
day.
day.
Gary,
It's
Gary the
like,
Stormtrooper.
yeah, Gary. Oh my goodness. Like, you rebels, you're making Jerry have a bad day from his kid.
Sorry you had to see that.
I'm so- I'm sorry you had to see that.
um,
Um,
no, but I was gonna say that there's a scene where basically it mimics the cave scene, and then Luke goes in and claps quote unquote Darth Vader, and Yoda's like,
okay.
"Oh, I don't know if he could swear on the
Oh,
podcast."
yes. No, I know exactly what you're
He's
talking
like,
about. It would to make you
"Think,
think.
oh, take his mask off, he would, and blowing your mind would be." So was it
Yeah,
supposed to be me fighting
okay,
myself?
I have seen that. It was it's funny, but it's also it's just like, oh,
It makes
man.
perfect sense though. Like
Yeah, it
technically,
does.
and this is gonna be a spoiler alert that
Yeah,
later in the movie that when he is fighting Darth Vader and he says, I
yeah,
am your father, that
yeah,
makes sense. Like that
yeah.
joke of Robot Chicken and the cave scene as a whole makes sense. That he's basically fighting himself, kind
Himself.
of, because his
Yeah,
father is a
kind of.
part of him.
Yeah. I mean, that fits, but I don't know. I think it's more to, like, help him realize that there is I don't know, maybe it is to help him realize that there's, like, darkness in his lineage, or not lineage. Is it lineage the right word?
Kind
Yeah, I
of.
think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. Or maybe descendancy?
Oh, it would be
No.
lineage.
Yeah, it would be lineage. But I think to help him realize that, like, at that point that he has darkness building within him.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, it's kind of hard to see. I wish Luke was almost. I mean, he is aggressive a little bit in this movie, but he's very whiny. Um, and he is kind of that way also in New Hope. But then again, he is a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, New Hope, of course, he would be whiny, like, I had to go to
Yeah,
Tashi Station to pick up some power converters, and
yeah,
that's warranted. Like
yeah,
that's just the status quo of Luke
yeah,
Skywalker, but
yeah. That's true.
like he's starting to
And you definitely no. Go ahead.
like he was kind of starting to get out of the status quo
Yeah,
in this movie, for sure.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well, I think he's trying to get out of the status quo. Like, well, even when he's a Jedi too, because he's trying to do stuff differently. I mean, especially since he walks more of the gray Jedi path. Um, or even in like the beginning of Return of the Jedi, he's like more. I mean, he's wearing all black. He's like the only Jedi's to wear all black, and he force chokes
Gamorrean,
the two
Gamorreans.
Gamorrean guards in the beginning, which no Jedi does that. I mean, Yoda even in this movie Empire says that the Force is only used for defense and to help people, not to attack. That's the Jedi way.
Mhm.
So that's very interesting. I don't know.
I mean,
But then
you can discuss that with your episode, whoever you're bringing on for episode
yeah,
6, because you can.
yeah,
I can go all day about that and the moral
yeah,
implications of what he did in episode
yeah,
6, but
yeah. But to get back to Empire, I guess
so
yeah, I don't know. I feel like the best parts of the movie. I mean, of course, the main battle is important,
mhm,
like between him and Vader. But I feel like a lot of the major building of the story happened on Dagobah, which I understand, and I wouldn't really cut anything on Dagobah. But one thing, I don't know. I feel like the Cloud City thing could be shortened. Granted, I guess you have to build up Lando a little bit if you're using him for like the next movie.
yeah.
But like I feel like you can still like work it off simple. Like I don't know, you go there, the Empire's just waiting for them right off the gate, and then Lando like helps them. It's like I needed to do a front, but I'm here to help you now. Han's actually my friend. I feel like they could have almost done that. Granted, I know they still have to do character building,
Mhm.
but I don't know. because Cloud City is kind of boring to me and all that stuff that happens until Luke's fight, which is yeah, I would say that's probably the best part of the movie and one of the best lightsaber scenes too.
I would say you really only have the original trilogy. You have
Yeah,
three lightsaber fights.
that's
You
true.
have
That
episode 4, which was the
yeah,
first one, and like they were limited by the technology of their time.
that's
Because,
true. Have you seen the edited versions like people have done on YouTube
of
of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader battle scene? Like they keep the all the dialogue,
mhm,
but like they make the fight more intense. It looks really good.
what?
And it actually fits like that you could almost like edit it into the movie.
Mhm. I mean, they couldn't really do that because they were limited with with the lightsabers on how they
Well,
worked, and
yeah, I
also
know.
how Sir
Well,
Alec
yeah,
Guinness is like
yeah, I
elderly
know.
as all hell.
That's true. I mean, that didn't stop Ian McDermott in Revenge of the Sith.
True, but I mean they had a lot of CGI and all. Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
Christopher Lee too. I mean, Christopher Lee was classically
that's
trained as a
true.
swordsman in
That
episode
is
2,
true.
technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, not
Um,
a lot of
and
lightsaber fights.
they were supposed to use stunt stuff for them, and that didn't end up. George wanted it to be like more natural, which I understand that, but at the same time,
Mm,
um, no, I understand that the technology was limited, and granted, it was because what Mark Hamill I saw in an interview said there was like a pack on their waist that like went all the way up their arm and into the lightsaber,
mhm,
because that would like spout the effects when the lightsabers would hit each other or hit something,
mhm,
and I don't know that scene like that lightsaber scene is very intense though to the point because it's just like obviously two powerful beings are going up against each other, and Darth Vader is like very powerful with the dark side, and
mhm,
at this point, I mean, I guess you could say in Revenge of the Jedi 2 he has this, but in Empire he has a lot of conflict within him because he's letting his emotions lead him,
mhm.
and that is his like main. I mean, I think that was his downfall
It was
because
his downfall that he got taught a lesson that he shouldn't let
yeah,
his emotions guide him, and
and he lost.
he got his hand sliced off.
Yeah, yeah, he paid the price,
Um,
and then one of the most emotional scenes to ever happen in the history of film happened, which
oh, Obi-Wan killed your father?
yeah, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father.
What?
That
That's
isn't true.
impossible.
That's impossible. Oh my. It's funny to hear Mark Hamill tell a story of like when he handed him the script cuz
Yeah. That only
cuz
what, James Earl Jones, George Lucas, and Mark
yeah.
Hamill were the only 3 people before the
Yeah.
movie release that knew about that twist.
Yeah. And he's like and Mark Hamill was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Okay, I have to keep this away from Carrie cuz apparently Carrie Fisher was the gossip queen."
Mhm,
Um and apparently him and Harrison Ford would tell her stuff to keep in her confidence just to spread news quicker.
mhm.
But he kept it a secret until the screening, and then Harrison Ford comes to him and is like, "Hey kid, you didn't effing tell me that."
Well, that's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, no, that's totally he Mark Hamill does a very good impression of Harrison Ford. It's hilarious. But
Speaking of Harrison Ford in this movie,
yeah,
did you know that okay, so Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, they signed on for a trilogy, 3 movies.
yeah.
Harrison Ford only signed on for 2. At
I feel like that's not surprising.
at, with Indiana Jones taking off and everything, no, it was New Hope, and then after that, it was, Raiders, but,
Wait, was Raiders after New Hope?
had to be because Harrison Ford
Because
made his debut his no, technically, Harrison Ford made his debut with, American Graffiti, and then George Lucas recruited from American Graffiti for Star Wars. But, let me see,
so Raiders came out 1981.
hmm,
So that and what? So Strikes Back came out
80.
1980. So
But you have to know you have to
yeah,
be aware how fast,
like
Hollywood
y-
moves, that
yeah,
Harrison probably knew about Raiders around the same time as Star Wars.
yeah. Well, here's the thing is though, you also have to remember at the time it took years to produce.
Mhm.
I don't think he started doing Indiana Jones till after Star Wars, because I think that was all filmed um before any of the Indiana Jones uh movies. I mean, maybe he did Indiana Jones before or Return of the Jedi, but you can tell in the Indiana Jones movies that he's like a lot, not a lot, but he's definitely older than he was in the Star Wars films. Or
Um,
maybe it's just the hair too. I don't know.
I mean, makeup's a hell of a thing.
That's that's also true. I
Um,
don't know.
but as I was getting at, they only signed on for 2 movies, and George Lucas wanted to kill him off, just in case if he didn't sign on for the 3rd movie. So that's why you got Frozen Carbonine taken, with Boba Fett,
Okay.
and
That
yeah,
that makes sense. But I mean, it still I mean, it works out that he like gets like what happens in the next movie happens. Cuz
because
that
he signed on.
yeah, that's I know. Then again, I don't know, some people say I mean, and I'm not going to go into this, but some people say that Harrison Ford is not really not Luke Skywalker. It's not Han Solo in Return of the Jedi. Like Han Solo's not Han Solo. Like he lost his spunk almost. But I won't go into that. Um
Now you're getting into like the bomb level of the iceberg there.
yeah, but I'm trying to think of other stuff about this movie. I mean, cuz we
Oh,
talked about
oh,
the the great part
Carrie
which
Fisher's coke nail.
what? Wait, what?
Okay, so back in the 80s,
Yeah.
cocaine was a big thing in
Oh
Hollywood.
no.
You can see in some of the clips,
Oh.
especially in Hoth, that she had a coke nail.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Oh, I wish I didn't know that. Okay. Um, moving on.
um,
Don't do drugs, kids.
yeah, drugs are bad, okay? Um,
Yeah. I don't think we have to worry. I think there's only like one kid under the age of 17 who listens to this podcast. Um,
okay,
trying to
so we
think.
were at
Oh,
Luke.
we didn't talk about another emotional scene. The Han getting frozen in carbonite.
Mhm,
That's a very emotional scene.
I know.
Which you don't like that scene?
I was making a joke.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
no,
I
it
lost it.
is an
Well,
emotional scene.
yeah, it's like, I love you.
I
I
know.
know.
That, that
I
scene,
don't know.
that's probably one of the best scenes in the movie, like,
Well, I think,
excluding battles and stuff.
yeah. Well, when it comes to romance in general in the Star Wars universe,
Mhm.
that's probably the best.
But,
Well, no, I won't go that far for the Star Wars universe. I will say in the Star Wars movies, because the Star Wars universe, Revan and his wife, like Bastilla
Mhm.
or Bastila, that I just read the book and their romance, and that is it's beautiful how they come together, and it's amazing. Again, Frank, you should read those books. Um, I actually having PJ read it right now. Yeah, they're amazing, and it will make you cry.
I mean,
That's how good it is.
I want
But
to I want to ingest the lore. It's just the problem is
yeah,
I'm going to go on
except
just a 30-second tangent.
yeah, go
At
ahead.
U.S. educational system just ruined my love of reading because you're forced to do reading, and it's just like makes it not even fun anymore. All right,
Yeah,
tangent over.
no, well, Frank, I would say I agree with you, and Star Wars is why I'm gotten into reading again
Mhm,
because it's good content. It's very interesting. I've even read some stuff. I mean, there's the books that are canon today are very limited, but I read one I'm reading one called Dark Disciple,
mhm.
which is what happens to Asajj Ventress and
After Order 66 or something.
no, during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
So this was supposed to be in the Clone Wars, but it was cut along with some cool Boba Fett and Cad Bane stuff.
Mhm.
But it's a very interesting novel. It's about her trying to assassinate.
Lynn Voss.
No, she's trying to assassinate Count Dooku again with the help of a Jedi. It's very. Oh yes, Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss is involved with this. But yeah, it's a very interesting book. I recommend it to you. But and that is also some cool romance stuff in Star Wars. But I'll leave it there because I don't want to spoil anything more
Mhm.
regarding to that.
Um, Still in the Carbonite scene though. That do
Yeah,
you know the in-universe explanation of why they froze Han Carbonite?
like the in universe.
The in-universe.
Well, it was a test, really,
Ye-
because Vader wanted to like trap Luke and take him to the Emperor that way.
Mhm. I was going
But
to say that, but yeah, that it's just I recently found that out.
really,
Yes.
well, it's in the movie. Well, granted, I read some stuff in or not read some stuff. I listened to stuff and or not read to stuff. I listened to some stuff in the movie, but I'm like, whoa, I didn't remember this. Like some of the stuff that Han says to Leia on the Millennium Falcon. I'm like, whoa.
Scruffy looking nerf herder.
Well, I was referring to the fact it's like I don't like it when you hold me, but it's like, but I don't have any time to do anything else. And I'm just like, oh boy. And yeah, I
Baby,
don't
it's
know.
cold outside.
Oh no, 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 Frank, no. Oh boy, Frank. Oh man.
uh, that,
Oh boy.
uh,
I don't know.
I don't know if you're gonna leave
So
that in or not.
I'll Frank, I barely cut anything out of this podcast. But I'm trying to think of anything else I want to cover with this movie because we talked about the main parts. I mean, I have to
We
say,
haven't covered the fight, the actual fight. Like we talked
oh, the
about
actual
it,
fight.
but
Well, there's not much to cover. Like I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you do see like the raw force power of Vader in the fight. You see, I do think it's weird that for someone who hasn't really had any. I mean, he hasn't. He's barely had any training, and how well he can handle himself against Darth Vader in lightsaber combat
Mhm.
is a little amazing to me. Like, I mean, people complain about the Rey stuff in the sequels, but I'm like, Luke Skywalker's not that much better.
Well,
Um,
I mean, if you analyze how long it probably took to get the Bespin from Hoth, it was probably about 3 to 6 months. Uh, Luke had about the same amount of time training with Yoda.
I guess so.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't think they would cover lightsaber combat though.
yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, he's learning a bunch of stuff that would
That's
apply and
true.
does apply in the fight. He probably learned
That's
stuff with his
true.
lightsaber as well. Um,
Yeah,
so
I don't
that
know.
it makes sense that he's a little bit more skilled than say
That's
Ray.
true.
Ray's just a straight Mary
Yeah,
Sue.
I oh, I disagree with that, and we're not gonna go into
Yeah,
that
let's not
because
get into
I
that.
don't. No, I don't want to get into that because I don't want because people already give me crap about what my favorite Star Wars movie is. But
Better not be Last
eh,
Jedi.
um, I'm gonna be honest. It used to be when it first came out, and then I just got just yelled at by a lot of Star Wars fans, and just the pure hatred for that movie by everyone made me not like it.
Mhm,
But I've been talking to a friend and I'm starting to have an appreciation for it because the thing is the reasons why people dislike the movie, and I'll just leave it at this.
mhm,
The reasons that people dislike this movie are inconsequential or like not really are kind of meaningless because you got to think of it as how of like a storytelling wise.
mhm,
Cuz storytelling wise, it's not a bad movie if you really think about it. Because I the general conclusion that I came up with is I feel like people would like Last Jedi a whole lot better if we had a better like third movie, like if Rise of Skywalker connected with it better.
mhm.
But there was still a lot of loose ends and stuff because of the whole thing that Disney did. But that's what all I'll say for now, and I'll go more into it with the episode we'll do on the Last Jedi, which is way down the road. But
Are you doing it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 series?
what? Starting with New Hope, going all right. Starting with the originals, going to the prequels, going to the sequels. I will probably go also to cover the Wars stories at some point too,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure. They'll be in the mix somewhere
Okay. Um,
because the whole goal is to So I did a ranking of all the movies, which is would be like I think my third or fourth episode. Um, and I'm going through rewatching all the movies to at the end re-rank them
mhm,
and come up with a new conclusion. Um, and the person who I did that episode with his name's Nick from the Movie Room podcast. Shout out to his podcast. He was upset where I had Empire because I think it was 7 or 6, and he was and there's 11 movies, and yeah, he was very upset.
yeah, that I would rank Empire in my top 3 at least. Yeah.
See, I don't know if we want to go back into what we were talking about, or I could just. I
Well,
mean,
let's go back and
yeah, let's
go
go
back
back.
and talk about the fight. That
Yeah, yeah, the fight. Yeah, you say what you like about the fight because I honestly don't have too much to say about it.
I mean, if you look at it, that's the first use of force powers in a combat situation in the entire series.
That is true.
Um,
That is true.
Also shows off the first use of force push. That there was force pull
Yeah,
back in the Wampa scene in the cave. That there was force pull,
yeah,
but it was the first real use of like, force push um, in combat. And also you had a
yeah,
bunch of other stuff going on. Um, and then yeah, fight, laser swords, lightsabers. I'm gonna get murdered for that. I'll be buried next to Jimmy Hoffa.
yeah.
And then
I've already
oh sorry.
seen stuff where people call them laser sticks.
Oh my god, they deserve. I can't say anything. It's a
I
podcast.
I'll just I mean, look, the boy, kid Anakin Skywalker in, in Phantom Menace, he's called it a laser sword. You can't get mad about that either.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's what it is.
that's pod
But yeah.
racing.
Oh boy.
um.
Misa Jar Jar
So
Binks.
yeah, humble servant.
Oh boy.
Jar Jar.
Oh.
Yeah, Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
Oh my. I just watched a YouTube video that was released where this guy bought almost every not Star Wars, almost anything like Jar Jar, like merch
Mhm.
wise. He bought all like the Jar Jar merch he could find. It was funny. It's yeah. And like at his work he has like a Jar Jar appreciation day. It's funny.
Do you have a Jar Jar Jar?
He probably does.
um.
But
So
is there anything else that you liked about that fight?
um. I mean, it was the first really choreographed fight. Um.
Yeah.
That Star Wars had. It wasn't like episode 2 or episode 3 where everyone was jumping around doing acrobatics constantly. Like
Yeah.
it was all mostly practical effects, um,
Yeah.
choreographed and everything. And funny enough, if you notice, Luke does get a hit on Vader.
Yeah, I think I heard about that and that was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too surprised. They were all on a thin railing when that happened too.
Mhm. Um,
It probably wasn't planned, and to go through that fight so many times, they probably just picked the best take.
I mean, it's all practical effects that they already had that effect
Yeah.
loaded up or that squib loaded up on Vader's
Yeah.
actor. Like, that had to be intentional.
Mhm. I mean, yeah. Also, I don't know. I'd have to watch the fight again. I mean, it was probably also a small blow.
It was a small blow that he could have taken advantage of that and clapped Vader right then and there, but
Yeah. But you also got to see, like, Luke was struggling. Like, right before, like, he was covered in sweat.
mhm, sure.
I mean, granted, Vader can't sweat because for obvious reasons. But, no, Luke was losing energy quick. And then, yeah, his emotions drove him, and then he lost his hand.
Mhm.
Um, I know I'm trying to think. Yeah, that scene was emotional. It was like I'm your father scene, and I don't know. I have to say, I always thought it was stupid that like he just dropped um like down like a shaft or whatever,
Mhm.
and I'm surprised like he didn't like. How do you? I mean, sure he went into a shoot, but how? I mean, maybe he used the force to survive, but it was weird like how he got out of that unscathed. And then he calls to Leia through the Force, which is interesting. Which do you think that like foreshadows like her Force ability or like her connection to Luke, or do you think it's just like him using his power? Because that's one thing I
I
struggle with. It's like
I honestly
you
sorry.
could say it's because of their connection, but you could I don't know.
I honestly think that was just a shot in the dark. That Luke was like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
screwed. That I know Leia is here, and I don't know Lando.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
don't know.
Han's getting loaded onto
Well,
his ship,
also,
and Chewie is probably not force sensitive, so I'll
I
take
don't
a
know.
shot with Leia."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a shot in the dark, but I don't know. For some reason, I think when I like watch that scene, I feel like you could tell almost on his face that he senses her presence.
Hmm.
Cause like there's a pause, and then he says Leia, and then he like I don't know, he's reaching out to the Forcer, and I don't know. I feel like to me that's foreshadowing connection, and because I wasn't surprised too much when I found out that they were brother and sister in the first one, or not the first one, in the next one, spoiler alert.
Sweet
But
home Alabama.
I have to say, well, I feel like that definitely foreshadow. No, stop it, Frank. Uh, um, I feel like it definitely foreshadows their connection because especially when you see later, like a few minutes later, like Vader reaching out to Luke in the Force,
Mhm.
which I have to say maybe is one of my favorite scenes in that movie is Vader, reaching out. It's like Luke, Father.
Ooh.
It's just like I don't know. I find that interesting. And then they get away. R2D2 comes in clutch and saves the day. Fixes the hyperdrive. Even they were supposed to fix it. Um,
Oh,
I mean, we didn't really talk about Lando that much.
well, I mean,
I don't.
rule one, drinking Colt 45. Don't run out Colt 45. Rule number two,
Oh boy.
refer to rule number one.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
people.
I don't know. Lando's an interesting character. I, I feel like he could almost be a throwaway character, and maybe that was the point, or maybe he was supposed to introduced to replace Han.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, Harrison Ford didn't sign on for the third
Cause
movie, so they need
yeah,
someone to take his place eventually, if need be.
and what you would you know bothers me if you like watch the end of the
He's wearing Han's
movie.
clothes.
He's wearing yeah. I'm just like, are you serious? I mean, he's wearing a pink shirt, but still, he's wearing the vest, and I'm just like, ah, um. But no, I mean, it ends like with them joining
Rebel fleet.
the the rebel fleet, and I have to say, I mean, what Luke gets a new hand. I have to say, it's one of the best Star Wars endings because I love it when you see the characters like looking into space or looking into the horizon and having that like Skywalker theme, like the
Do,
do
do, do,
do
do,
do
do.
do 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 do.
That was.
I mean, that's like
Sorry, you go.
yeah. No, that's just one of my favorite parts of like Star Wars is just the horizon scenes and that theme. I mean, I wish I was talking to my friend on the previous episode
Mhm.
that I wish they ended um Luke looking off in the horizon at the end of New Hope instead of
Instead of yeah.
the ceremony scene. I mean, you can include that, but I said there should be like a party afterwards and have him like wander off, look at his medal, and then look into the horizon because I feel because you start with him the beginning, like looking off into the horizon, wondering when he will go on like his path in life, and now he's looking into the horizon, wondering, okay, what's the next step on my path?
I mean, I think they
But
ended episode 4 on the right note, and then they ended episode 5 on the
okay,
right note. Um,
yeah, I definitely agree with Empire. The ending was good, and you have a little bit of a cliffhanger because you know that they're going to figure out a way to save Han.
mhm. Also, how is Luke
Eh,
gonna defeat Vader? How's the rebellion
yeah,
gonna win after getting ran off a Hoth? There's so much
yeah.
going on that it
Well,
makes you wait for
yeah,
episode 6. Also, too, just one
yeah.
thing, they're looking off into what exactly? They're looking at what?
But like into
What are they
space.
looking into specifically?
Were they looking into the sun?
No, that they were. I'm trying to bait the question, but I mean, they're kind of looking into a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
Are
Oh,
they in the unknown regions
okay.
at that point?
May
Are they
I mean,
beyond
they might
the
be.
Star Wars
I
galaxy?
mean, that would be the best. That might be the best way to hide from the Empire.
But I mean, it kind of makes no sense that there's no way of in the canon lore right now. There's no way of
Um,
getting
well,
out
actually,
of the Star Wars galaxy with hyperdrives.
uh, I don't think that's true. I don't know much about the outdoor I'm not sure. I honestly don't know, Frank. Um, I don't think you can travel all the way there with hyperdrives, but I think you can get really close. Um,
I mean, even in the Legends material, that you can't use a hyperdrive outside the Star Wars galaxy. How did the Yuzon Vong
yeah,
get
I
there?
don't.
They got there on generation ships.
Yeah, I honestly do not know, Frank. But I will say is one thing I picked up in the beginning of this movie is like if you read the beginning
No crawl.
titles, you do see that, and you've kind of figured this out that like the rebels on Hoth is just a small faction of the rebels, that they're actually
Hmm.
bigger. Not much bigger, but there are a whole lot more. But besides that, Frank, besides what we covered, is there anything else you'd like to say about this movie? How about this? Give me your closing thoughts about this movie, and maybe how about this? Give your defense on why do you think Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars
All
film?
right, so why do I think Empire's the best? Um, Firstly, Episode 4. Okay, let me just get the easy ones out of the way. Episode 1 sucks. I'm not gonna go into it. It just kind of sucks. So that would rank like on my lower portion of my tier list. Yeah, Episode 1 sucks. Episode 8 sucks. Episode 7 is just a copy of Episode 4. Episode 4 was the original test bed, which was okay. Like, it wasn't as good as 5. The rate's up there. It's just that it's just not that advanced. Like, there's not as much story because it wasn't written out yet. It wasn't planned on being part of a series. It was planned on being a standalone film. Um,
Mm,
2 is a little slow. 9 has so much Deus Ex Machina in it. I don't really like it. Fly now.
mm. I mean, 9 I think is the worst one.
I th- 9 is down there on the list. It's just they're all 8, 9, and 1. They're all fighting for last place. 3 was pretty good,
Mm,
but there's just so much CG, and then there's just so like during some of the scenes there's just so much stuff
yeah.
that stuff that is unexplained or you can't really explain without delving into the lore of it that much.
Well, you could say I feel like you could say a lot, but you can say that about a lot of Empire Strikes Back, especially when it comes like if you don't know the lore, the beginning of Empire Strikes Back can be confusing.
You
Um,
have the title crawl that explains it to you.
you do have the title crawl, but like there's still it doesn't really. I mean, you don't really know it's been like 3 years until. So I don't think it says 3 years in the title
But
crawl.
you don't need to
Eh,
know it's exactly 3 years.
I don't.
No, it's
Yeah, but
probably not immediately after,
I
a
don't know.
la Episode 8.
I that's
There's
true, but
been
I
a
don't know. I
passage of
feel
time that we don't know the passage of time. There's been some passage of time to where
yeah,
it's not like immediately after Episode 4, so stuff is allowed to
yeah,
develop organically outside of the
yeah, yeah,
film.
yeah.
And then
I
oh sorry,
I just yeah. Go ahead. No, go
Episode
ahead.
6, teddy bears. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, 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 no. I had this debate the last episode. You are wrong, sir, and that's we're moving on.
I'll whip
No,
out the
no.
I'll whip out the Chewbacca defense real quick. Um, yeah, look
Chewbacca
it up.
defense. Oh
Um,
boy.
Basically though, Episode 5, you start off with a really good battle. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's some stuff that can't be explained, like the space worm. Um,
Yeah.
so great ground battle, which is really one of the first ground battles, come to think of it, that was filmed. Have a decent
Yeah.
escape running from the Empire in the asteroid field.
Mhm.
You have a great training scene introducing long lost Jedi, an awesome puppetry and an awesome set, and also
Yeah.
displaying
Yeah.
force powers majorly.
Okay.
Then you get to Cloud City. You have Billy D. Williams
Oh,
being awesome. Even more force powers, all the more tension. And then Luke's like, "Oh god, I have to go to Cloud City to save my buddies." And then you have one of the best lightsaber fights of the original trilogy. Then you
yeah,
have
I agree.
another awesome escape. Leia, Mando, Chewie,
Yeah.
getting out of Cloud City, and then you have a resolution that it's like, I can't wait for the next film.
That's
Oh,
true.
and also we forgot to neglect the fact that C-3PO got all torn up and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I don't know. I have a love-hate thing for C-3PO because it's like he makes it interesting, but at the same time, it's
mhm,
annoying.
he's
But,
a real supporting character, but yeah,
okay. So, alright, Frank, in one sentence, like, simple like, give me, like, a simple answer, like, because I feel like you did give some points to why, but I, like, just, like, sum it up, like, in 1 or 2 sentences why you think Empire Strikes Back is the best.
that most of the movies for the Star Wars saga, they're hero stories.
Yeah.
This movie's a tragedy.
Mhm.
It's different. It makes it unique. Makes it something special because you can
Okay.
guess a hero story. And for those of you who
Yeah.
do not know what the hero story is, watch episode 4.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I that's so you're saying that's the reason why so many people like it is because of this
It's
tragedy.
dark.
Yeah, it's dark. Okay. I mean, I can get behind that. It's just maybe okay, so maybe Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, maybe it's not like the best Star Wars film for me because I it's not that I don't like tragedies. I feel like also for me to really like a movie, it has to like really grip me
Mhm,
and like pull me in, and I haven't really felt that with Empire. At least at least not with a good majority of the film. I mean, if I'm gonna watch a tragedy, I'm going to watch. I mean, my opinion, one of the best tragedies ever or darker movies is Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. That is a hidden gem in a wonderful
mhm.
movie. And honestly, I would rank that movie higher than Empire because I mean, I love Star Wars, but I don't think that I mean, sure, it's cool for a tragedy. I see its uniqueness. I do think it has some wonderful elements,
Mhm.
but I do not think this is the best Star Wars movie. I I would say maybe this might move up to my top 5. Cuz I have to say it's more held together than a lot of other Star Wars films.
Mhm.
Like Revenge of the Sith, that's also like a good tragedy movie. But granted, Empire Strikes Back is a little bit held together more. But then again, I don't know. I know you don't like CG, but sometimes I feel like with Star Wars, the CG gives it a little bit of magic.
It does,
Um,
but I mean,
it makes it more
when it's too in your
exciting.
face and when it's just like all CG, that's kind of like, okay,
Yeah. Well, I think I will say, I will say, like in the prequels, I think it's that way, but I don't think it's necessarily in that. I wouldn't say it's all CG with Because with the sequels, I think they really tried to do as little CG as possible. Um, yeah, I don't know. I would just say this. I won't go into this whole tangent. I think the sequels are not as bad as everyone says they are.
I mean,
And
sorry.
I would say, if people ask me what type of fan I am, I cannot completely side with the sequels. I cannot completely side with the prequels. I can't completely side with the originals. But I will say this. In the aspect of storytelling and like as a story
Mhm.
goes, I do really like The Force Awakens because that's a very good intro story. I mean, people say it's a ripoff of New Hope. I disagree because there's a whole lot of new elements. And also, I I have a respect for Last Jedi, and I will cover this in the Last Jedi episode. On a storytelling level, I think it's really good. And you also have to think that the person who wrote Last Jedi was writing it as Force Awakens was being made. So um that's like, I don't know, a reason to hate it a little less. But for Empire Strikes Back, yeah, I would say this movie is definitely, for me, like on a scale of 10, maybe maybe an 8. Yeah, I would say an 8. It's like, granted, I've seen a lot of Star Wars movies, and this is like older, so it's a lot. I mean, it is
Mhm.
nostalgic, but I don't know. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really like it that much. Maybe it's because I think why people hold on to a hero story so much is because you always have hope that the hero will win. I mean, granted, you still have this hope towards the end of this movie, so that's why. I mean, I'm glad like they didn't end it with like Vader like chopping off Luke's hand and him falling into the abyss and like ba 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 ba
Yeah.
ba ba like end credit. That would have been awful. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think this is a good movie and it has some good elements, but compared to New Hope, which I really love cuz it's the entrance to a new
Mhm.
universe. And plus I really love all of Alec Guinness's lines in
Mhm.
New Hope. And I just love all the action sequences in Return of the Jedi. I mean, some people say it's too much, but for me, I feel like it flows very well because you go to Jabba's palace because that's where Han's held, and then as soon as they break him out of that, they go straight to the rebels, and then
Indoor.
um they go to Endor, and then Luke
Star 2.
um goes to the Death Star 2. And I feel like that all flows well compared to like Skywalker or Rise of Skywalker, where you're going to like 8 different places and trying to find like 5 different things to access, um, different things to get this one thing to go to this one place, and it takes 3 hours. And you also,
No,
I mean, am I Frank? Am I wrong? Am I
no.
wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just realized. That sounded a lot like Rev 12 Day 1.
Oh my goodness!
So, okay,
That
okay,
I
real quick.
mean that was
Um,
yeah.
so
Explain
for
what
you
Rev
which
is.
you don't know that if you've ever played Fallout, yeah, people do that with airsoft. And in a field in
Yeah,
or at a field in Virginia. And
yeah,
there's over 1,000 players at this game. Usual at most airsoft games, there's anywhere between 40 and 50
yeah.
at most. But
For the for the cat listeners who usually listen, this is where PJ and I went to. This is what the place what we were talking about on the Indiana Jones episode. Yeah, That's the episode that PJ and I filmed the
Or
day we left for Rev. We recorded it right before you
okay.
picked us up. Yeah, Frank was the one who took us down to Virginia, and we
Yeah,
had
we
a
did have a
blast.
blast, but basically though that you need in order to quote unquote win and survive the
Yeah,
days to get a challenge coin, like a metal challenge coin, which is really cool. That I have one from
yeah,
Rev 11, but you had to get certain components, and it was so convoluted. Day one, they wound up changing it for
it
day
was.
two, but yeah,
Yeah, because the first day you needed 2 components to get into like certain
yeah.
bunkers to sur- to survive, and one of the components was very common, and everyone. I mean, apparently people found out quickly that that the one component was common and the one wasn't. Um, and I ended up getting the one component that was very common later in the day because PJ and I went on a wild goose chase because we were told that the QR codes had value, but that's like wasted
Who
half of
told
our
you the
day.
QR codes have
But
value? Who told you the
what
QR codes had a value?
Chris did,
Oh my god. When?
yeah, like in the videos in when he was actually like explaining the
Oh,
rules.
yeah, that I could have told you that yeah, that's just a trap.
And yeah, we ended up going back and forth, and it was just yeah, it was a wild goose chase. But I ended up surviving that day, the first day,
Cheesed out
because
when.
I basic. I mean, I wouldn't say cheese. I mean, I had like the one component that I needed, but I didn't have the other. And this one dude, I like went to him because we were like hiding out at a vault, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any extra components?" He's, "No, I don't. I just have for
Mhm.
myself." And when stuff got hairy, like when it was basic the day was ending and like basically like all hell went
Mhm.
loose, um I realized like I could steal his key. So I literally quick drawed him. Like he was looking away. I quick drawed him, and no one suspected a thing. I just said there was a misfire, and everyone believed it.
Oh, that's awesome. Um, as for
Yeah,
me,
but and yeah,
I wound up getting one of the yeah, the common and the uncommon component. Did it in a stupid spot,
yeah,
and it got in-game stolen. And
yeah.
it wasn't a personal item that you can steal and loot, but you can only do that for in-game items. Like you
Wait,
can't steal someone's phone or steal someone's
yeah.
gun.
Frank, are you sure you want me to include this because this is spoiling your
No, it's
video?
not because it's getting dropped soon.
I mean technically your video's
Yeah, it's
already
already
out.
out.
Like yeah, it's
I
already out. If you haven't seen it, go listen to it or
I'll
not
watch
listen
it.
to it.
It's
Go
on the
watch it. It will
FrankDad
be in the
YouTube channel. I just type in FrankDad
yeah.
FrankDad. But
Okay.
I mean, it
Yeah.
by the time this podcast comes out, which when is it going to come out?
Probably
And
a week
then
or
it's going to be
2.
out by then.
It depends. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be out by then. I don't I almost I well, when you're working with other content creators, you don't want to make things more
it's fine.
complicated for
It's
them, you
fine
know what I
because
mean? Yeah,
all
okay.
right. Back,
Um
back to the
so
yeah, back to the thing.
to to finish closing thoughts. Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Is it a good movie?
Mhm.
Yes. I would say it's a good movie. Definitely probably in the top 5 Empire Strikes Back. Is it the best?
Yes. Nope.
I
Nope. Nope. No.
I
No. No.
don't
No. No.
know.
It's the best.
It's up. Here's the thing. I feel like if I went and asked like a handful of people, I feel like most people would not say Empire Strikes Back. I feel like people would be leaning towards the prequels or like
It,
New Hope. Some might say the sequels, but I don't think. I mean, I think a handful will say Empire Strikes Back, but I don't think as many
you
I don't know. How about that? So how about this? When this comes out, I will post uh on Instagram, which will be at Two Sides of the Same Coin Pod. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Listeners, please reply to that. And also, if you scroll down on I think I don't know if this is just Spotify, but it might be Apple too. If you scroll down while you're listening, there'll be a question that you can fill out, and that will also say what is your favorite Star Wars movie. You can answer that way, and then we can settle this debate to see which people like more. But yeah. Frank, is there anything else you'd like to say about this movie?
No, I think we basically covered everything or a
Yeah,
lot of things. Not everything, because then we're gonna have the one guy saying, "Well,
yeah,
actually," um. So I think we covered a lot of ground tonight.
yeah, yeah. I think we did. I might. I don't think I'll have a lot to cut out, but it's a little longer than we usually do. But then again, these breakdown episodes have gone longer.
Mhm.
But yeah. Thank you for listening to Two Sides of the Same Coin. Go follow FrankDad Airsoft at Frank. What's the name of your yeah? I can't speak.
YouTube.
What's the name of your YouTube?
My YouTube channel is just
Is it just
FrankDad. All
Dad?
just
Okay.
one
Go
word,
follow
and then my
FrankDad.
Instagram is FrankDad Airsoft, because someone took FrankDad. Um,
Okay.
that my link tree should be somewhere that Noah should set up.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will be in the description before you click on the episode, not while you're listening to
Okay,
it, if that makes
yeah, that
sense.
makes sense.
And also, I'll have his accounts tagged and stuff, so it'll be easy to find. And if you want, if for some reason you can't find it, just message me on Instagram at Two Sides of the Same Coin Pod, or email me at Two Sides of the Same Coin Pod at gmail.com. All that will be in the description. Also, email me for business inquiries and how um how you would like me to improve this podcast, and or suggestions of stuff you'd like to hear. And if you really love this podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and review. And if you extremely love this podcast, you can support me on Anchor and donate I think as little as $1 a month to just help me make this content as amazing as it possibly can. Uh Frank, anything else you'd like to add?
Um, yeah, just go follow me, please.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
Yeah. Go
to a
give
thousand
Frank
subs
go,
before the end of the year. I'm at
yeah.
611, so
Yeah, go to Frank Dad on YouTube. Subscribe to him. I mean, Frank, you're not like my most favorite airsoft YouTuber, but you do come out with like unique content. You come up with a good flow of gameplay and also like
boxings.
airsoft gun, yeah, airsoft unboxing and
Mhm.
reviews. Yeah.
And then a lot of LARP. I'm calling it LARP soft. I'm going to coin the term now, LARP soft.
Yeah.
That would be like the Rev series that we were discussing earlier.
Ooh. Yeah, that will be fun. But yeah, thank you for listening for Two Sides of the Same Coin. I am Noah,
I'm Frank Dad.
and Frank, you ate my enchilada.
I don't.
Theme song.
Two sides of the same coin.
That podcast is weird.